Good morning, everybody. DJ Styles back here at the drawing board at Custom Corpses. Okay, so basically what has happened is I actually believe that I've got this, I got on the edges and around the ear area the overspray from the Plasti dip, and back here as well on the backside of this mask, because I sprayed right up in here. There could be some overspray. I did it outside, so there's a chance that the overspray kind of did get on the head. So hence the latex didn't really stick that well. And the other combination that I think was a problem was the fact that the latex I was using was very old, and it was dried up inside the bottle. I could see it. It was weird, man. So, you know what? I meant to go get a pencil. And I'm going to go get a pencil real quick, and you can look at Flashback. Give me a second. I just need to go get a pencil. Thought I had everything I needed. Of course not. Okay, I got a marker instead because I need you guys to see the line. All right, so we got a magic marker. But the first thing I have to do is break out some paper towels. All in at once. The world is that? All right, never mind. And I'm going to break out some lacquer thinner. I want to rub the top of this head down right to the hairline. I don't want anything touching. I don't want any residue on this head at all, if I can help it. Now there's some old latex on there. We're just going to cover that. That doesn't matter. Now I don't want to have any drips or runs coming down this face. So I'm going to put the lacquer thinner onto the towel. And then we're just going to do a rub. Just to make sure I don't touch the face at all. Yeah, you know what? I could feel it. There was some overspray, definitely. And I think that was the problem. So I'm going to do the front of the head real fast. Make sure there's nothing on this. How I know it's working is because I can see that this latex is actually flesh color and the paint's coming off. So I know that I'm penetrating whatever was on the surface is completely off. I can see the paint coming off. You can see it coming off on here too. You see the color? Okay, so let's flip this over. I don't waste towels. I don't waste anything. I really try to be very careful about waste, because this adds up. Man, money really is you know, I got a little bit too much. Wow, that's even taking the old latex off. Which is okay. We're going to bury that anyway. It's not going to matter. And we're going to create new lines. We're going to put lines on there so you can actually see. Where you should put the hair. And I don't necessarily need to do that because I've done this enough times to know. I'm just making sure I go over this area here because this is where the problem started, right at the front. I want to make sure that that is super clean and free of residue. I'm even touching that line just a little bit. I really don't want to, I should get the tweezers because this is pulling off now. Doesn't really matter. It can stay on there, it doesn't matter. It's going to get buried anyway. Okay, that's rubbed down good enough to where I trust the latex will stick with no issues. I'm just getting these bigger clumps off of here. Anywhere I see it flaking, I'm just pulling it off. That's pretty stuck on there. All right. We don't need that. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to draw this line. And I want to be away from here. I don't want to be real close to this edge. Okay, come on. Of course, I got a dried out pen, right? Let's see. In a minute, I'm going to go get another pen. Same thing on this side. Now I'm measuring. I want this line to come right above the custom corpses. So this is where you're putting your hair. This is where you're going to put your glue down to put your hair. Now that I got that there, now it's starting to write. All right, that's your first That's your hair. That's your first hairline. All right. That's where you're going to put your first bead of glue. And then we're going to come in right behind this. This is a pain in the ass because the pen's not. I'm going to set my height here. Better to start from the center. I need you guys to see this. It needs to be visible. You know what? Let me go get another pen. That thing ain't writing worth a crap. Get another pen. Get it to look so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it on camera. This one writes. This one writes. Thank God. Now, I'm not taking this hairline all the way to this point. I'm going to go right to there. Yeah, see, this one writes now. And we want that same thing on this side. And I'm just bringing it right in. You get narrower as it gets to the ear. About right, perfect. Next row, and you want to start at see the rows come in and you see how they are separated. It's wider right in the center. It's wider right in the center is what you want. And I try to keep them about the same distance. Out there, and we'll come up, we'll do another row. So I have it right to this point. As you can see the contour of this? You want to bring your each one of these ends a little bit longer. I want to follow that contour with the length of these lines. All right, and always start from the center, it just works better. You want to make sure that you're try not to put the marker on too heavy either. Now let me give you a little look. I just brought that in. See, when you're looking at it from this point, you can really keep that distance the right, you know, the same thing. So it's easier for me as I'm writing this on here to keep my line the way it's supposed to be. And this is just a guideline to put your glue. See what I did there? Now I'm going to put that glue right on top of that line. All right, now I need to cock that back a little bit. Same distance. Center of the head. Now turn it this way, and you can guide that better. I'm blocking your view. I can't. There's some things I can't do. I don't have multiple cameras. Now, as I get closer to this hairline, this line starts to shorten. I want to make sure that line stays back. Yeah, because I'll be putting glue right here. That's exactly where I'm going to put the glue. Matter of fact, you don't need to. I'm doing a little bit different method with this. This time. Should have done it this way right from the start. And notice how that line comes right in to the top of that line. I gotta do the same thing on this one because I didn't bring it all the way in. Okay, so that's where I'm going to place the glue. I put the glue right on that line before, and that was a mistake because I need to pull it forward. I'm going to do a different method on how I glue the hair this time. So you can see me doing it this way now. The thing I'm keeping my eye on is this distance here and bringing it down closer and closer. Oops. A little further. Yes, sir. This is starting to look like something now. Right now, big thing is here is making sure that this distance is right. Now I'm going to start, because this is tapered up in here like this, I'm going to start slanting this. Oh no, it's about the same. about the same. This just gives you a more accurate glue line for your hair. I'm just going to put this. I don't know whether I should do. Yeah, I'll make it tighter. Okay. Now, this is how I would hair a mask normally if I was like especially new at it. This would be the lines I would use. Now, when I do the front and I glue this, I'm not going to glue it and have the hair falling forward. I'm going to glue this line here and put the hair back. But when I go to style it, I'm going to put the tacky glue right on this line right here. And going to be a smaller bead, and then we're going to take the hair. I'm sorry. First, we're going to tease the hair in the front to pull it forward. After I swirl it and tangle it, and everything, put the glue line there, and then press that hair into that glue. That's right on the hairline itself. The hairline is pretty accurate to the Flashback. I mean, as accurate as I can possibly make it. But now we have a better understanding of how you want to layer the hair. Now I'm putting a lot more rows on because I plan on going thinner with the hair. I'm going to go a lot thinner. So, but I want to do it one at a time. Actually, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm halving the length. All right, so I get 2 out of 1. And instead of putting the whole row on, maybe I should. I don't know, because this could take forever if I don't do it the right way. I got a new bottle. I actually went to the beauty supply to get my shears to actually to do a better job with thinning the hair. And what happened was, I saw these bottles and I went, oh man, that's exactly what I need, because the latex, let me do it this way, because I don't want this latex running all over the place. And I want a small, thinner bead. And this is new latex, where the old latex was. And you notice I'm putting it just above that line. And we're only going to do that side first. Where'd my cap go? Don't lose the cap. The bottle becomes useless if the cap is. I need to do this first. A lot less waste. And of course I forgot my popsicle sticks. Jesus. All right, let me go get my popsicle sticks. Jesus. Anything else? Just you think you're on top of your game. And Yeah, you think you're on top of your game, and sure enough, you always seem to forget something. So, put the cap back on the lacquer thinner. We don't need to smell vapors all day. Come on, shut. Put that back there. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Smash it into that hair real good. I'm going to be a little extra longer today because I want to take my time with this and really get it right. Really try not to rush because that's what causes the issue. Now, this one here, I'm going to use just a little bit of this for the ear. I'm going to take the same piece that's on the other side. I'm debating, should I go this way with it, have it so it folds back on it, or do I go this way with it? I think I'll go that way with it because I think I can make this look better that way. And I'm just going to stick it right back into that other latex. There's already latex on the mask. I don't need any more on there. Is that going to be too long? Yes, it's going to be a little too long. So what I'm going to do is I'll use that on the other side. And I'm going to go this way with this. Take that latex off of there. Oh, you sucker. Stop with the breeze. Okay, when that dries, oh, that's actually going to be okay there. That's going to be okay. It's not going to move. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other side real quick. Get the latex off your fingers because you don't want to touch your hair. I'm I'm taking my time a little more this time around because I don't want to have any mistakes with this. Now, do I want that? No, you know what? Let me cut some of this hair fibers off. There we go. That makes it neater. Come on. That's a bad thing about doing. Okay. I'm gonna put a little more in it. I'm gonna cut the edges from now on too. Unless I can get it really, really clean. Clean edge, in other words. Just makes it easier. You don't want those hair fibers getting all over the front of your mask or anything like that. So you just cut these. Give it a nice clean edge, that's all. Why waste it by using all this? No, I want the hair. I don't want any hair on there. Come on, serious? Like I said, we're going to pull this forward. I don't even know if I want to do that. I don't know if I like this idea. All right, no, I'm not doing it that way. I want them the other way. And I need these hair lengths longer. This has to be a full stretch because I just thought about this. I need them to be full length because you have to be able to comb that back. So we're going to do two sides at full length. We only need half of half. So first thing I'm going to do is clean this blade off. Keep me a paper towel just for the latex. Whoa. Cut the ends that are rippled. See that ripple in the hair? That's a natural thing, but we don't want that. And that's about right there. I can use that. Now we're going to cut this in half, pretty much. And put the hair on here again. Yes, that'll do it. I meant to say, you don't want that ripple that's in the hair at the end of your hair. You want your hairs to be nice and long and straggly straight, as straight as possible anyway. Cut the fibers. We don't need that length, especially on the edges. So it's a nice clean perfect. That would have been a struggle to try to hide that glue line right behind the ear like that if I had kept it the same way. Come on, man. Yeah, you can hear those August crickets. You know, the breeze is kicking up, man. This is not what I want when I'm out here doing hair. It was really still just a little while ago. Usually, some people would use glue on this. Come on, man, get off. Get off. Oh man. All you have to do is just have a little latex in your finger and it can really mess you up. Same thing with your popsicle stick. Make sure it's clean before you touch the mask, because you don't want that, because it'll grab to the popsicle stick and pull off. What I'm going to do, because this feels like it's a little bit thick here. Tiny bead, just to mash it in to the. I want to make sure it's in the mask real good. There we go. Now, to get this stuff over here. Take that latex off of there. Now we do this back section here. this gets the half. Can I use this stuff again? I actually can. Why waste? Remash some latex in there. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's see what happens here. Let me move this over here. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll cut some of this off of here. As soon as you touch that mask with the hair, it usually comes right off, as long as you don't have it sticking to your hands. So and that's why you always got to make sure you keep the latex dries on your skin so fast. Just not wasting anything. I don't want to waste. I'm not going to use that. That's too, it's dried up too much. I think that was the first piece that I cut. But I'll use this. The other piece I was able to salvage because the latex was still wet in the hair. And just pull it up. Give it a nice edge. Overlap it a little bit too. You want to overlap the hair a little bit, because if you don't, you could have a little bit of an issue. And I got a little piece to put in there, which is no big deal. And I think put this thing more forward and cocked. Now I put some foam on, not styrofoam, the real soft foam that I cut off my mask the other day. Okay, now natural length, where's the wave? About on the bottom. Okay, this is the one we're halving. Not with that dirty ass blade. Just gotta make sure your tools are clean, because you don't want we only need a very small section right there. one good thing is I have a cement pad out here now. I used to have a wooden deck. You'll see my old videos. I tore that old wooden decking down, and we put a cement pad out here instead. And I'm digging it. I'm just going to keep this tip clean so it doesn't harden inside of that. I like the pad. Latex will not stick to the pad, just like it doesn't stick to the molds. Come on, get off my fingers, Jesus. I don't even know how I picked that up. Where did I get it? Perfect. I think I got it from the popsicle stick. Perfecto. Next row. I'll spread this thin because we don't want I don't know. I don't know if I should do longer strands. I guess in the back it's not going to matter. When I get up top, I'm going to want the hair longer. That's what I'll do. But I got to make sure it's thinner. That's a fact. I'm not adding any extra rows or tighten rows at the top because this is all about cut this, trim this edge. Are you serious? That's the follicle. Okay. Now we need to do, since this is facing me, I'll just do this side first. Now the reason why I go right above the line is because of, you see how that drips? We got that one shot. Same thing on the other side. Oh yeah. Did that? Come on. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to cover this all with one piece. Perfect. I'm trying to go as close to the edge as possible of the hairline. A little slower, taking my time a little bit. I just have to be really extra careful. I don't want to have to do this again, or again and again, rehairing the mask. That is a pain in the arse, as my mother used to say. She didn't like to curse too much. I don't like cursing either. All it does is it shows your lack of vocabulary. Doesn't make you sound very intelligent. It might make you sound tough, but it's not very intelligent. And I forgot to put the latex on. So it's always best to, try not to curse too much. I'm not a do-gooder or a holy roller. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I mean. I just think it doesn't sound too good when you're cursing all the time. And believe me, I worked in nightclubs and stuff, and so there's this natural. You're around that atmosphere. Not an excuse. It's a reason. You're in that atmosphere, and you end up with a trash mouth, big time, man. One night, I had a situation where a guy was with his wife, and I was out front of the place. We were out front of the place, and I'm cursing my head off, man. I'm not even really paying attention to what I'm saying and stuff. And his wife got offended. And I started thinking to myself, right at that very moment, if it was my wife, I'd be just as upset too. So you know what, sir, I said to him, sir, I really apologize, and I really mean that, because I just put myself in your shoes, and I just think, why? It's not unnecessary. It makes you sound like an idiot too. And he accepted my apology, and he wasn't a tough guy or anything like that. It just, could have been an ugly situation if I had taken the wrong approach on that. Could have been, just, I don't need to get into fights with people. Who the hell needs that bullshit? But at the same time, I didn't do it because I was intimidated. I did it because I felt really bad. I was like, you're an asshole. That's what I said to myself. You're an asshole. But cursing, I don't know. Just, I think if you're cursing a lot, just make you sound really. There was glue all right. this starts to move along pretty good now. Once you I can go all the way around this now, because this latex won't harden up that fast. Latex, the skin, the heat of your body makes it dry quick, not the not latex to latex. Won't dry that quick. Make sure that you get it all the way through that hair. Really good. Mash it in there. Pull that up. Give yourself a nice clean edge to work with. There we go. And just kind of this is kind of like the spot on the back of the head that actually is a little bit longer. This line here, it's these three lines that are the longest. I never measured it or anything, but I can tell just by the strands of hair that I have to do. See, that's not good. Just take it out. Don't try to put it back. See what happened? Just dried on this. Now to save my ass here, I'm just going to put a little latex right on top. Perfect. Perfecto. Now we do the second piece. Really spreading this thin too. Okay, I already did that. I already have the bead of latex down, but I want to put a little more right here. It looks like it's a little weak. I'm going to overlay this just a little bit. Process isn't, you make mistakes, but if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn real well. You don't progress. So don't ever be afraid to do something because you're afraid to make a mistake. That is the dumbest thing you can do. And I'm going to say it straight up, that is the dumbest thing you can do. Mistakes are part of the game, man. That's how life is. Nobody hands you a guidebook on how to be perfect your whole life. That is not going to happen. Man, look at that mess. You know what? This blade needs cleaning. There we go. Nice delicious water. This is going to look nice too. I think this is going to look real nice. I'll be able to tease this up nice. Popsicle stick. I'm trying to just use one. I don't want to waste these popsicle sticks. I don't mind getting a little bit of glue on my fingers. Just have to get it off is all. Whatever you do, don't do what I did, and that was rush it. A little too cocky, a little too confident. That'll lead to that all the time, especially when you really feel like I've done hair enough to know that I can move it quicker. I can go faster. I just think that's a mistake. You get a little too comfortable doing something, and all of a sudden something doesn't work out, and you're going, "Oh, what did I do wrong?" Well, I think it was a combination of problems. I think I got that problem solved with this situation. Need to clean the blade again because just taking my time, man. I don't want to rush any of this. I really don't. Because look where it led me. Back to just trying to find a halfway point here. I'm cutting these lengths into halves. I don't want to cut. Bit right there. Put them out. So what I did there, I kind of raked this up and then pushed it back into the hair. I really want all the hair follicles to have latex in them, because if you don't, you're going to have a little problem. Notice how I'm putting that right over top. I'm overlaying it over top of that other hairline. I don't want to bring it right up to it and have that gap, because when you go to style it, you'll see that split. You want to make sure that they're overlapping just a touch. The other thing I'm also being careful about is making sure that you really press it into the head, so you don't get these hard, thick globs of latex stuck into the hairline. You don't want that. See, that'll fold back like that. That'll comb back into the hair. That's how that works, like that. And then you see that little gap. It's supposed to be there, believe it or not, over the ear of the actual mask. All right, it's time to clean this up. You know what? I'm tired of putting it all over my hands. So I'm gonna. Oh, that works even better. Hey.
Yeah, I put
Well,
this
dressed.
into this moldy oldie.
Oh God.
I'm putting it at the back.
Yeah, I'm recording right now, so you know. Let's clean that mess up. Let me get my trash. There's a trash can behind me. I want it close to me so I can. Get my trash can. Tossing distance. Okay. Alrighty. Breeze, go away. I don't need you. Let's go all the way up here. So I go all the way up here and I work my way back on the plastic because it gets messy. I'm going to fan this out because this wind's picking up on me and I don't like it. All right.
Wow, these are looking good.
Yep. I hope we get them. I hope they start turning red soon because we're going to be getting into weather where it's not going to be hot enough.
Wow, even this one, yeah.
So, I'll be in it a little bit. Won't take too much longer. I need this closer to me, angled a little bit. growing tomatoes, and we got a late start on them. That's what she was talking about. They're looking good. We got like 5 tomatoes on, and they're all beefsteak tomatoes. So we got like 5 tomatoes on one plant and 5 on the other. They're really nice, but they're green still. And I'm worried that we started just a little too late, and we're liable to not get good juicy red tomatoes out of it. We've been feeding them a lot of water because I knew. Oh, still got one over here. And I'm just going right behind that glue line because I don't want, not glue, latex line. I don't want the underneath part getting any of that, because the latex beads up is what happens. It starts to dry on there, and all of a sudden you get these crumbs of latex into your hair, and that's what causes that clumpiness on the scalp, and you don't want that. You don't want to put your hand on the latex mask feeling all these like beads of latex balled up on there. I'm trying to make a nice. Now I didn't do that. I mean, it turned out pretty good. There wasn't a lot of clumpiness on the other hair job that I did on this, but it's still, I don't know, it was giving me a hard time because it wasn't. Use that for that. To overlay it, you know what? I need to put a little bead right here. I want to overlay this just a little bit. Trying to make it nice and thin, meaning the separation of the hair so it's nice and thin on the mask itself. We don't want a bunch of hair. Now you can, like I said, you can push it forward. Even if it stays a little wet, what happens is it just gives this hair laying on top of the wet area. It'll stick down onto the mask and give you a better grab, so to speak. Okay, so we're going to pull another section. And as you can see, I'm using a lot less hair because I'm literally halving this instead of doing full lengths. And we don't need let's say we need half of that. Sneak it up right behind that other line. By the time I get down to here, this is all nice and dry and it's easier to clean up. Popsicle stick, make sure it's clean. Always clean that latex off because it dries pretty quick on the wood for some reason. It's weird, latex dries differently on different things. Quicker. Stone, it dries almost instantly because stone absorbs. Yeah, actually that makes sense. Now that I think about it, stone absorbs the moisture out of the latex, and that's why it makes it dry. The more absorbent something is, the faster the latex will dry against it. And oops, and I forgot to put the little crossover bead here. There we go. You get the gist of it. You suck on some water for a minute. I got my water jug right here, filled with ice. Actually, I think the ice is melting already. Crazy. A little warm out. It's not real warm. I'm gonna say it's like don't. You see how close these lines come together? This is where you don't want it thick, so you got to make sure that these strands of hair are very thin, thinned out. So I think until I get up into here, I'm gonna go all the way up to here doing halves, and then I'll do the pompadour. I'll do the length. I'll do the full length then. Just really trying to spread this out so it's nice and thin. You do not want the hair real thick. You want to see through that. Same thing, clean that blade. feel like there's enough hair or enough latex here. I think I cut it away. That was the problem. I cut away a little too much latex on this. Okay, good. Overlayer that like that. It's important to not have too big of a bead. It really is. No, I'll use that if I have to. Really? There was shit all over that and didn't see it. I thought I cleaned it. Very transparent, that's what we want. Clean that off of there. Good enough. Make sure I do that overlay. And then kind of stretch the bead out. There we go. Let me start to see, yeah, that's not going to be too thick. That's going to be good. We're going to be good there. Taking my time with this. We have to. We want it right. I just had a little tiny bit that was sitting over here. And I need right there. And I don't want to overdo it. So I'm just going to take a little of that off. This looks clean. Put a little bead on top of this. More importantly, to make sure that you don't go over this line. That's what you don't want to do. Just make sure that you don't go over that line. And I just beaded that up, and I don't know why I did that, but I did it. That's nice and thin. That's good. When I brush this out, a lot of that hair is going to come off, but now I got to start going longer. I have to start to do the length now. But I may even do away with some of these lines. I may put the line just a little bit above this because I'm doing the longer ones now. And I'm just seeing how this is coming into play here. That's going to have to be brushed into its home, so to speak. No, I think I'm going to stay with the half. For one more row. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. One more row, because I can still see this is slanted back some. Right here is your peak, and then it starts to go forward. So from this point forward, we're going to put the longer hair. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And I can't cut it because I didn't clean my blade. Dummy. Before I do any of that, I'm going to clean this up. Yeah, once it starts to stiffen up, latex just rolls right off of it with the paper towel. Nice to use the plastic, it really is. Actually, throw it in the trash. That's what it's there for. Okay. And a bead. End game here is to get this thing haired and ready for coming all the way up here on the end of this plastic. So I have plenty of working space. Instead of trying to stick it into the same spot all the time. Just a little cleaner, a little neater. That's what we're trying to do here. Clean popsicle stick. Okay. Too much latex there. Come on, stuck to my finger, see that? There's latex on my finger that I didn't see or feel. I don't want that on there, that's why I want that off. I don't want no latex that might peel off on that edge. Now we're going to start getting into a little bit thicker once I get to the other side here. Overlay, definitely overlay on this one a lot too, because this, see how that hair's tapering off over there? I don't want that. Thumb just hit that latex. I want to make sure that's not on my fingers. Can's expanding because of the. It's not really warm out here though. It's nice, beautiful out here. Well, get off. birds, gulls, osprey. That's an osprey there. You can hear it. Nope, maybe not. Oh man, you serious? See that comes from not cleaning the blade, dummies. Clean that blade. Don't mess around with that. That'll mess me up big time. Throw it in the trash. I didn't cut it all the way through, but that's okay. Actually, taking that little bit off worked perfect because it was too long. Maybe I will leave the fibers left on there because I just thought about something. You notice the color of the hair is going to be back behind that. It won't have that straight edge. You won't see that. You won't see the, see by having the straight edge, you'll see that gap between there in flesh. If there's any, when I go to brush it out, it gets very translucent through the hair here. Chances are you'll see that scalp. But I'm also going to do something a little bit to fix that situation too. And you'll see that in the next phase of this. Because I definitely don't want this to Do I have any more hair back there? Yeah, I do. There you are. Go to this side. This is going to be the last one that I do short. Isn't that what I said? Yeah. This will be the last short one. The rest of them are going to be long. Longer fibers going forward at this point. Now, if you're not going to cut the hair, like trimming it like I've just been doing, you got to make sure that those hair follicles are completely covered and pull them all the way out. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So when I pull this up, you see how all that's got latex in it? Popsicle stick. My popsicle stick. Keep it clean. That's always an issue. Here we go. Now it's not interfering with anything. Okay, we're getting there. I think yep, gonna pull some more. Cut this in half. Actually, use that end. So, hopefully everybody had a great summer. It is winding down finally. Looking forward to Halloween, my favorite time of the year. Always has been, even as a kid, before I even got involved with this stuff. I think Halloween was my favorite holiday. Christmas, maybe as when I was a real little kid, you know. But once I became a teenager, man, Halloween was the stuff. That was when all the magic happened, you know. That's when I enjoyed it the most. I mean, we used to do mischief night. You know, you can't do those things anymore. It's just, I mean, you can, but we never went crazy. We didn't do anything. I was with one group one time that was just horrible. I didn't take part in it at all, but the guys that were with me did, and I thought, you're jerks. So it's disgusting what they did. And the guy had a really nice souped up car. And I didn't see it because I left. They said they were going to do this because I thought that was such an asshole thing to do. And I said, I'm not going to be around you assholes when you're doing that. And they, of course, they were a little high or whatever they were drinking or something. You know, so they were a little messed up. So they decide they're going to go pour a bunch of motor oil inside this guy's interior of his car. I was like, what? It's not mischief, that's vandalism. You know, and I'm not trying to be a do-gooder, but I didn't want no parts of that. And I knew the guy. I'm like, you know, he wasn't a bad guy. He was a good guy. Why do that to him? And it was an asshole thing to do. I've seen guys do some crazy stuff, man. I really have. All for what? Just to be jerks. Oh yeah. Not worth it, man. I mean, what was the throw in that? You ain't gonna see what happened. The guy it was real late at night. I know when I left him, man, I was like, probably like 1 in the morning. That guy was probably in bed. So you ain't gonna be there to see his reaction. You gotta do wait till the next morning. You're gonna hang around. I don't think that's a good idea. Just stupid. But after that night, though, I made sure I didn't go around anybody that was stupid or crazy when I was doing mischief night. The mischief night wasn't really the night that I loved the most. It was Halloween, because then you got dressed up and I could care less about mischief night. To tell you the truth, I didn't really enjoy it too much. It was, I don't know, it was kind of silly and stupid. Taking the eggs, smacking people with eggs and stuff like that. That happens, but I don't know. Kind of harmless. Taking the old toilet paper, wrapping somebody's house with it, did that kind of stuff. But it all got boring to me anyway. It was just dumb. Dumb stuff as kids. Kid stuff. Alright, now we're doing long pieces. Doing longer fibers now. Yes, we are. I see a couple spots here that are pretty thin. Separate and pull them together. Cover up these thin spots. We only need half of that. Cut off the tip. Yeah, whenever you hear those crickets going like that, it's the end of summer. It's a change of season coming about. Those high-pitched crickets every year. It's funny, I live in the woods. At least I have woods behind me. I have a lot of animals. I've got coyotes, I've got eagles, I've actually seen a bald eagle out here. I've seen lots of hawks, buzzards. They're a pain in the neck, but they live here too. A lot of coyotes. Coyotes are rampant. I saw a pack about a week ago, maybe a little longer than that, maybe it was almost 2 weeks ago. They were in the backyard, and there was at least, I want to say 15 of them. I thought, my God. So, with kids, you got to be careful. I don't have any kids. All my kids are grown. Don't go after young kids. You will do that. Okay. Yeah. Getting short now. Getting short now. We're going to use up this piece. Clean up a little bit, that's all. Popsicle stick. Spread this out. So the trick is that you really want it spread. And this time I'm going to work from the center, and then I'll put the ends on. Popsicle stick's clean. I don't want that dirty popsicle stick. I tell you, man, I really love doing this. I love making these masks. don't. Wow. I'll clean up my plastic real quick before I go any further with this. Now I hear a wild pig back there right now grunting. I don't know if you guys can pick that up on camera. Don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a pig out back there grunting. And they're wild. Now this means such a little bit. Actually, cut it first, Dopey. Really? Use that on that side. Damn, I didn't even get a sip of water yet. My ice is already melted. Ah, that's good. It's one thing I always have a trouble with, staying hydrated. I don't know why, I'm never thirsty. And I'm diabetic, and I still don't get that thirsty. I get the dry mouth and everything, but I don't really want water. I don't want anything to dry. Well, Ozempic is definitely causing a lot of that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim this because I'm getting close to the edge of the hairline. Center of the head, I can. Okay. Almost put my finger into the damn hair with latex on my hand. That was a close call. I can't believe it didn't pull up. But it did, it almost did. Yeah, I want that edge to be nice and clean. I don't want when I put this glue here, I want to be able to have it so it's all going back. All right, now we need even a smaller piece from this. Such a small spot. Same thing, because I'm getting close to that edge. I want to make sure I cut this, trim this. Perfecto. Turn that there so I can see what I'm doing. Popsicle stick. Ain't gonna go nowhere now once it touches that latex. I mean, it would, a really bad wind would do it, but it's not that windy out here. Right there, right where that, we got to make sure that that's cleared of latex before I put that glue on there. I want that fairly dry so I can rub it off. Not too dry, but dry enough to where it'll rub off because it's still soft and pliable. Let me try it again. Ooh, that's already dry. That air got to that. There we go. Now I'm good. Take a little of this wet stuff and smooth it over top of that. There we go. All good there. Back to the home front. The big thing I'm going to do is get this piece of hair out here. Okay. Now, why waste? I know it's a little thin, but I'm not wasting anything here. We just use it as we use it. Don't waste anything. Can't use shorter pieces right now, but I sure can use the longer ones. See, once I comb this out, right in the center. Yeah, once I comb this out, a lot less hair will even be on there even now, even with this. So you always have to be aware of that. No problem as you get. Now the next one, from now on, I'm going to trim it because I don't want the hair coming down and mingling with the hairline. Oh man. I need a break. Is this long? No, this is short. That's that extra piece that I had. It's half that. Actually. So I'm just being a little extra careful with how I place the hair, because I don't want it to be too thick up top here. It's not about thickness. I'm realizing when I did the last one, it's all about how you tease the hair is what makes it a much better hair job. All right, time to trim this because we're starting to get into the Jesus, really get off. Give me this fresh popsicle stick just to get into this area. I want to make sure I'm right. Man, latex smells like ammonia until you let it dry. Then it smells like cake. It's the weirdest thing. Mask latex, good mask latex. Good mask latex. Latex, when it dries, it smells like cake. Literally cake. No icing, no nothing, just the cake. Smells like delicious cake. If your latex doesn't smell like cake, it's not good latex. Okay, I'm going to clean this off a little bit. We're almost there, man. We got one more row to go, and we're gonna be. And that is one sharp pair of scissors. Harbor Freight, Quinn. All right, now I can already tell that I've got a lot of hair here, but that's okay because this is the pompadour area. And believe me, when I brush this out, because I have been putting it on very thin, so when I brush this out, this is, and even if I have to use the sheer thinner, the thinners this time, I will, because I'll brush it out, see how it's laying. Actually, I won't brush it out. I'm going to lay it and see how it looks, laying it without brushing it together. And if I need to thin it out, I can do that with the thinning shears. There we go. All right. Digging that. We're on to our last row here. And that's going to be one long piece. Clean the tools in between, this way I can keep moving. Yeah, I want that to be one long. Perfect. It's been a strange summer. It has. I worked my butt off on these sculptures. And I'm kind of glad I did, because instead of doing my other thing, I know I would have made a lot more money, but at the cost of not getting this done. Now what I'm going to do on this edge is I'm going to clean up just the corners. Like that. And I forgot to put latex here. latex hitting that line. Okay. I almost want this to dry a little bit. Yeah, we do. We want it to dry because I don't want to put that bead of tacky glue. This is the stuff I use for the hairline. Right here. We're going to put it right where that marker is. All right. But I don't want, in case there's any wet latex and it lands on top of the wet latex, it's liable to not stick very well. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to let this dry a few minutes and we'll come back for part 2 of the hairline. Okay? Yeah, this is going to work out pretty good. Yeah, this is nice and thin. Now this time I'm not putting the hair down this way. I'm putting the hair straight back. And then I'll pull it forward once we tease it. But that's going to be the new, well, not new, but it's the way I'm going to do it this time. So I'll be back for part 2 of the mask latexing herring of the Michael Myers hair job. See it? Yeah, it's a lot thinner this time. Not as bulky. That's a good thing. All right, let me pause the camera. Get the trash can out of my way. And we'll be back for part 2. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe, the like button, and share my content. Let your friends know about it. All right, peace, guys. See you on part 2 of Herring of the Mask. Herring of the Custom Corpses FB78, which stands for Flashback. All right, see you in a bit.